in that email that we sent to the responsible authorities, which we are saying that Mr. Kabir Singh will be banned. Yes, sorry, Chair. That is an email, if you see, dated 7 November 2025 on your bundle, for which we've also put down the conditions that we're going to be adhering to, where we are saying beers, lagers, and ciders sold at the premises shall not exceed above 6% in alcohol volume. We shall not be selling single cans of beers, lagers, and ciders. There will be no miniatures sold at the premises. A personal license holder shall be present on the premises throughout the permitted hours of the sale of alcohol. All staff to be trained every 3 months in the relation to be license objectives and making sure they are promoted properly. If you look at number 6, which says Mr. Kabir Singh shall not be allowed to enter the property during the licensable activities, which we are saying, and he shall be banned from premises. Invoices for alcohol, tobacco, and web products to be made available immediately when requested by council officer or police officers. This is the conditions we've laid out. I'm particularly stressing out regarding Mr. Kabir Singh because that is what the responsible authorities are quite concerned about, his involvement. But there will be no involvement in any sort of business by Mr. Kabir Singh. The involvement you might look at is in the lease document, but the freeholder, the lease document, if you see attached in your bundle, dated 2025, does not allow, the lease is totally assigned to Mr. Inder Singh. You could see the lease assigned to Mr. Inder Singh. So we are removing Mr. Kabir Singh totally out of the context. In accordance with paragraph 14.19, which the concern of the Section Guidance 182, the subcommittee is reminded that certain matters such as ownership disputes, personal disagreements, or unrelated business history are not relevant to the licensing objectives and should not form part of the committee's consideration. That is what is our view. The focus should rightly remain on whether the applicant can hold the 4 licensing objectives. Mr. Smith's actions clearly demonstrate that he can and he will, with the experience that Mr. Singh has in London. What we're going to be having to make sure the licensing objectives are going to be promoted robustly is there will be a training manual at the premises. That training manual consists of how the 4 licensing objectives be promoted. We have heard a lot in the press recently that there are a lot of illegal immigrants employed at various departments. But this training manual shall have a right to work checklist of anybody employed at the premises prior to his or her employment. There will be a Section 57 Licensing Act for the premises. There will be an authorization to sale of alcohol relating to people working at the premises, so that notice will also be there. And there will be a staff training register to show that every staff is trained every 3 months and registered in the logbook. So that will be in the training manual. Apart from that, Chair, there will be all the related posters required by the Section Guidance 182, which I would say the premises will have a Challenge 25 policy in place. The premises will have a CCTV working at the premises and a poster be put up that there is a CCTV at the premises. And considering the public nuisance, there will be please live quietly and consider our neighbor's poster put up. Apart from that, there will be a refusal book when refusals are carried out, and there will be an incident book present at the premises. So you can see how robustly the 4 licensing objectives are going to be promoted at the premises. Responsible and transport, Mr. Singh will be personally involved in the day-to-day running of the business and will ensure that all staff train in line with licensing requirements. He is committed to full transparency and cooperation with the licensing authority trading standards in the police. The business will support the local economy by creating employment, offering a well-managed, responsible retail service. Mr. Singh's decision to relocate to Canterbury reflects his long-term commitment to the city and its community. Mr. Singh is willing to accept the conditions proposed by the subcommittee or responsible authorities to reinforce compliance and public confidence if there are put up today during the hearing. So, Chair, you can see how well, how robustly the four licensing objectives be promoted. During your visit, we were requested, you wanted to see whether the present, the premises presently were, as they sell vapes, were they keeping a record of the refusals? And I have brought that refusal book with me, which you had, one of the councillors had checked, and it is here with us for if you want to see it. It's quite there for you. Chair, I'm happy to take any questions. May I just also remind you that I'm not here today to discuss anything about Mr. Kabir Singh because his involvement is not required. His involvement is not going to be at the premises. So I have nothing to say about Mr. Kabir Singh except that we have already said to you in my presentation that he has got no involvement in the business. I have got the DPS next to me. He does understand the four licensing objectives. And to make it much more easier for you, I will be asking the DPS in telling you how he is going to promote the four licensing objectives and what does he understand by licensing objectives. Can you please?
Good morning to everyone. And any questions?
Just the four licensing objectives.
So there's one that's prevention of crime and disorder, prevention of public nuisance, public safety, and children and harm, safety of children and harm.
How would you promote the four licensing objectives? What would you do for prevention of crime and disorder?
So for prevention crime and disorder, there's CCTV placed that record 31, has a recording for 31 days, up to 31 days.
Could you explain the children from harm, which is the more concern of the responsible authorities?
Well, there's a Challenge 25 policy placed, and we check, like, what do you call it, as a ID, we only accept photocard IDs such as driving licenses or passports.
And when you ask for the ID, what do you do next? Refusal.
Oh yeah, and if they are under 25 or no under 18, as in, we write down the refusal book that we have refused them politely, and we will ask them to politely leave the premises.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chair. So you just try to confirm how well the DPS is trained and understands the four licensing objectives. So, Chair, we feel that this license be granted. I'm happy to take any questions from the committee or the responsible authorities at this very instance. I will have my chance to put the matter later on. Thank you very much, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. This is the opportunity for the panel to ask questions of you, so we'll do that, and I'll start. Thank you, Mr. Singh. Aneet, yes? Thank you for explaining your understanding of the licensing objectives. Can I just check, in terms of being the designated premises supervisor, how often will you be in the shop?
Well, I'll be relocating here, and I'll be here on day-to-day basis.
Sorry, can you say that again?
I'll be relocating here from London, as I currently live in London, but I'll be relocating here after the license and stuff, and I'll be in here on day-to-day basis.
So currently you're living in London.
Yes.
And just coming down, but you're saying that if the license was given, you'd be relocating from London.
100%.
Okay, and so if you, sometimes it's a bit difficult to relocate to Canterbury. I mean, how long do you think that might happen?
No, it's not that. I mean, it's obviously difficult to relocate and stuff, But I've already planned before that if the license happens, I'm already looking at the departments and stuff. So it would be quite soon.
Okay, so if there was a gap between, say, the license being given and you're being able to move down to Canterbury, how often would you be able to be in the shop?
Well, I'll try every day basically. But until let's say the license has been given, and until I haven't moved here, we won't sell the what do you call it, alcohol or any licensing stuff. So we won't include any, like we won't sell any of the alcohol until I've fully relocated here.
Okay. So how many other members of staff are currently in the shop, and
There's
how many would there be?
There's currently two, one on the till and one on like on staff, like on near the door and stuff, and it will remain two as well.
And what kind of training have they had in Challenge 25?
They've been trained, like if there's a person under 25, they should ask for the challenge policy, and if they're under 18, they should write in the refusal book.
And that's currently happening because you are selling vapes.
Yes, that is.
Are there any other, if you wish, licensed items that you're selling?
There's the vapes and the cigarette papers and stuff like that, but yeah, that's all.
Okay. I did get to see, as Mr. Panchal indicated, the current record of challenges, but I didn't see that record extended very long. It was fairly recent. Am I correct about that? I mean, Mr. Panchal, perhaps you can explain?
Yes, I can explain that to you because very recently, Mr. Singh and they have taken the premises, the lease and premises of it, and they've introduced it straight away, the records, and that is why there's a shorter period of records. But once the license is granted and Mr. Singh is on a regular basis here, there will be a refusal book which you will be able to see on a regular basis.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I still want to finish, sorry, Chair, regarding, I know the concerns for the plan of the premises, and I'd like to discuss that with you, which is on the floor plan. If the license is granted and Mr. Singh goes ahead, there will be a slight movement on the plan that you see there. The till is going to be taken upstairs. There are 2 floors on the shop, and it will go on the upstairs floor as you look at the plan. The reason being is then there will be less chance of robberies happening. If you look at the present situation, the fridges are the soft drinks are quite close by to the door. And if the alcohol is close by to the door, there will chances of people pulling the alcohol up. So hence, the till will move up, and the fridge for the wine and fridges will go up on the upstairs. You see on the plan. So there will be quite a bit of a change. So if the license was granted, and you heard Mr. Singh saying that he will be relocating, there will be a major refurbishment going on in the shop, which will take a few time to get it up and running.
Okay, I've just been advised that the cameras are now Sorry, I'll come back to you, Mr. Panchal. I've just been advised that the cameras are now working, and therefore the meeting is now being filmed. Okay, I just needed to explain that. Coming back to what you were saying, Mr. Panchal. Yes. When we visited the shop, what you're saying is that, as was indicated by the licensing officer, the location of the till you're saying is intended to be moved toward the back of the shop. Can you just give me a bit of an outline? I mean, at the moment, there's quite a lot of vapes being sold. There's obviously the shop is described as eye repair, so there's repairs of mobile phones going on and stuff like that, all of which I imagine you intend will continue. So what items will be removed in order to be selling alcohol? Where is the alcohol? Just describe that again to me as well, so I've got a good picture of it. Where is the alcohol going to be in the shop?
Yeah. Chair, it'll help us all together if you go to the plan in your bundle, because I can then explain to you where about in the bundle the alcohol will be. It is clearly stated in the bundle. If you look at the till counter, the display of the spirits will be behind the till. So there will be no people having a direct access to the spirits. Whilst the alcohol collection point will be near to the till on the left-hand side, and wine and alcohol fridges will be right opposite the till, as you see on the plan. So the alcohol will then be moved on the upstairs rather than downstairs, where there will be vapes and soft drinks. I hope it helps you.
Okay, thank you for that. I've got a couple of more questions, and then I'll ask my colleagues to also ask any questions. And one question is, the applicant here is Mr. Inder Singh, and where are you based, Mr. Singh?
I'm based in London, 43 Setwood Road, Southall.
Okay. Were this license to be granted, how often would you be visiting the premises?
Chair, he'll be visiting on a regular basis because he has the DPS working there, and he will be visiting regularly, as he does with all his other businesses in London. So he will be looking into his business on a regular basis. But the DPS, as per the section guidance 182, will have the day-to-day running of the premises, and reporting back to the license holder.
So Mr. Singh has a DPS as well.
Yes, he's got the DPS.
Mr. Inder Singh has a DPS, as well as Aneet Singh. So Inder Singh will be visiting as well on a regular basis, but not relocating to Canterbury. Okay. I'm a little bit intrigued. I mean, clearly what you're talking about is a bit of a network of businesses here, some of which are based in London and some of which are based down here. Can you give me a bit of a clearer idea about the extent of the network of businesses that we're talking about?
Yes, Mr. Singh has a wholesale business in London, and in the past, because he does a wholesale business of mobile phones, and a lot of businesses buy wholesale mobile phones from Mr. Singh, and hence his interest in the shop came through one of the mobile purchasers regarding this place. And he has his hands in quite a bit of pies, investing as and when he gets his chance. And he looked at this chance as an investment and could suffice himself to say, yes, he will be able to run the premises in how he's run his other businesses, whereby he hasn't breached any of the conditions, or he hasn't breached any of the problems, or he hasn't come up with any problems whereby either he's got prosecuted or not. So he hasn't been prosecuted anywhere, because that is more important in how well somebody runs the business. And he has run the business hands-on, let me put it like that. He's hands-on on the business. So at this instance, he felt that he was hands-on on this business, and there is a scope and there is a chance. Because if you look at the lease isn't very cheap. And we have an evidence, Chair, if you want us to present to you, that he's already paid £45,000 of the business to the previous owners. On 1st July, he paid 5,000. On 3rd July, he paid a 10,000 deposit. He paid another 15,000. So he's paid £45,000 to the business purchase in going forward. So he has the business capability and he has the business financial structure. He is very much hands-on to work with the responsible authorities. So you have a chance here, because I could see from the bundle, and I've read through, which would help you when you're making your decision, that there was quite a bit of a problem with the previous leaseholder or the previous Mr. Kabir Singh in running the business. Now that will go away once the license is granted, because Mr. Inder Singh will be in charge. He will be working with the responsible authorities, as is done in the past in London also. So that will be a plus point to what we see from the responsible authorities' views on the application.
So you're saying that Mr. Kabir Singh has no interest whatsoever currently in the property,
Yes, that's correct, Mr.
has
Kabir.
no ownership rights of any sort.
Any sort, and we are happy to endorse that, like I've just gone through, that we've emailed the conditions that we are proposing. Now, the condition that we are proposing in my so many years, and if you look at the legal part of it, or the section guidance 182, if any of those condition was to be breached, when I say breached, if Mr. Kabir Singh was to walk into the business, it would be a breach of the condition which we are proposing. And under section guidance 135, Mr. Inder Singh could be prosecuted.
So you're saying
And the
if,
license could come in front of you for a review.
so you're saying if Mr. Kabir Singh were to enter the premises,
Yeah.
that would be a breach of conditions. And how would, I mean, what do you imagine would happen?
Well, the license would come under review. Mr. Inder Singh would be prosecuted for breach of the condition laid out. Under guidance section 135, he could be prosecuted also, and they would lose the license. We're coming in front of you, we would have no answer for that, and he would lose the license of the premises.
Okay, I'm just trying to explore this a little bit further.
Yep.
So, I mean, clearly in the past, there has been a relationship, a business relationship between Mr. Inder Singh and Mr. Kabir Singh. Is that correct? I'm correct in that.
Let's put it like that. There was no the reason that has cropped up is when Mr. Inder Singh took interest in acquiring these premises.
Yes.
His proposal, Mr. Kabir Singh's proposal, was to join him, and Mr. Inder Singh would carry on. But after Mr. Inder Singh realized that he is not the right person as far as the business is concerned, he asked Mr. Kabir Singh to relieve himself away and he doesn't want to get involved anything with Mr. Kabir Singh. So he then decided that Mr. Kabir Singh should not be involved at all when looking into it. So when you see somebody and then you try and see that the person hasn't got a credibility, you tend to move him away.
So, I mean, Mr. Inder Singh, do you have any other business relationships with Kabir Singh of any sort? Elsewhere in the country
No,
or
nothing.
here?
No, nothing, never.
And Mr. Aneet Singh, let me be clear. Have you worked with Mr. Kabir Singh as well in the past?
No.
So you've got no connections whatsoever with Kabir Singh.
None.
Okay.
No at all.
Okay. My last question then is, if you were to be granted a license, where are you intending to recruit staff from? Where will you be getting the staff from? Are they local people or from?
Yeah, there will be local people.
There'll be
'cause,
local
of course, no
people.
one's going to relocate here or something. It's going to be local people around the Canterbury area.
So the current staff there, will they be continuing?
No.
No.
They might if they understand that the Challenge 25 policy is proper and they understand all the license objectives. But we are planning to change the staff and get a new local staff from here.
Okay. So if you were granted the license, you'd be getting new staff in, is what you're saying.
Yes.
And are you saying that they would be trained before they were able to commence work there?
Yes.
Okay. I think I've gone through all my questions, so I'm going to ask my colleagues now if they've got other questions. So, Councillor Harvey, do you have any questions?
Yes, please, Chair. Can't quite understand the rationale behind moving the till to the upper area where the alcohol is going to be stored. I'm presuming there's going to be racks down the middle of there, so it's not a question of visibility, which everything is on the CCC anyway, the closed circuit television. Concerned really that you may be more liable for theft, and it's kind of antisocial behaviour that people might grab stuff from the shop because they then haven't got to go past the till. So it strikes me that it's making it more vulnerable. And obviously we have a particular problem in this area of Canterbury of antisocial behaviour and drinking and violence, etc. And that's why I raise those concerns. I just wonder if you can clarify your thoughts, please, on that moving the till to the back of the shop.
Yes, I can clarify quite a bit of it. There will always be somebody at the a staff for the phone collection in the vape. If you look at the drawing, and the reason we're moving the alcohol upstairs is because at the entrance, if the alcohol was presently put at the entrance near the fridges, there will be more people coming in and grabbing. From our experience we have looked at in the past, grabbing a can of alcohol and running away. This, they will have a less chance of doing that because there are steps when they go up to the alcohol section. So there are less chances of that happening at the premises.
Okay, so the intention is to always have at least 2 staff members in the shop.
Yeah, the intent there will be 2 staff. So one will definitely be down on the phone collection and the vape side of it, while one will be above on the alcohol side. So it'll be much easier if anybody went in to collect the alcohol on the top or tried to run away without paying or whatever, then there will be easy persons at the bottom would be immediately informed or shouted at and could easily be tackled.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
There will be a violent policy also, which is a norm for most of the off licenses nowadays. Off licenses are not easy to run. From our experience of 25 years, we've made sure the violent policy is in place. The violent policy is online, available for all the staff to look at, and it doesn't cost anything. But it's much easier and much better to make sure how you tackle the problem.
Sure. Okay. Thank you for that. Yeah. One other question, really, just related to the previous owners, and there was some concern of waste being stored, I think, in some sort of basement area, which is clearly a hazard. Appreciate that you've taken over the premises, but that entrance appears now to be blocked up. So I wonder if you can let me know what's happened to that previous issue and whether that's been cleared.
I don't think there is a concern for the new owners to look at that, because they are not going to be creating any waste or creating any of that sort, because there will be a bin, there will be a collection from the bin collectors, and they will be having a contract with either with the council or the private collection who would collect the waste.
Yeah, I just wondered really whether there was an issue before and whether that had been cleared, whether the new owners have accessed the
Yeah, it has been cleared. We've managed to hear that it has been cleared.
Right. Thank you.
Questions from Councillor Old.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to follow up on the issue about the commercial waste collection. You say there will be a private contract in place.
Yes.
I'd just like to explore that a little. So that will be a private contract, not with the council, but with a private contractor for waste collection. Is that correct?
We've surveyed when I was talking to the owners that BIFA are the local waste collection, private waste collectors around the area here. So they will be talking to BIFA about it.
Okay, thank you.
a lot of research has gone into the place.
Okay, I think the panel have finished their questions for the moment on this. This is the opportunity now for responsible authorities to ask questions. Now, the responsible authorities will ask questions about your presentation, and they have an opportunity about making their representations afterwards. So I'll start with asking PC Rolfe from Kent Police if she has any questions to ask of you.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I've got a couple, if you don't mind. Can I just ask, you said that in the presentation that both Mr. Singhs have got previous experience in London. Can I ask what experience that is, and is it involving any licensed premises?
So I'm currently working in an off license. I do have what do you call it, objectives such as I'm a what do you call it, personal license holder, and my job is to be on a tail of off license and to serve people.
Thank you very much. And the other Mr. Singh? Same?
I'm the wholesaling the business, like mobile phones, vapes and mobile phones, wholesale only.
So no alcohol experience?
No alcoholic.
No, okay, thank you. And if I may just keep on that subject of your current businesses, do you supply any phone products to Mr. Kabir Singh?
Which products?
Phone products.
You said you have a business which is phone products and other things. Do you supply anything currently?
Not
to...
now, not now. In like past, I selling Kabir Singh phones.
Sorry, could you just clarify that?
I selling in past Kabir Singh phones.
In the past, you've
In
sold
the past, yeah.
to Mr. Kabir Singh's
Yeah.
businesses,
Yes, yes.
but you currently don't at the
No,
moment.
no.
And is that how you got the relationship to then see this premises here that you're looking to buy?
No relationship.
No, is that how you got the connection between the two of you? Is that where that came from?
Yeah, that's correct.
From previously supplying products to his other shops? And the application for this premises is to be called All-in-One Bazaar. But I note from visits that I've completed and its current signage says eye repair. Could you just explain that a little bit to me as into the difference between the names, and is it remaining as eye repair or is it All-in-One Bazaar?
It's going to change into All-in-One Bazaar if the license is granted.
Thank you. And you said that you're now the leaseholders. And who was the previous leaseholder?
The previous leaseholder for the premises was Kabir Singh.
Thank you. That's all my questions.
Okay, thank you. Now's the opportunity for Mr. Widdett from Kent County Council Trading Standards to ask a question.
Thank you, Chair. I have a couple. Thank you. Could you please explain who is currently responsible for the business rates for the property, please?
Business rate, they are going to apply, Mr. Inder Singh, and they are going to inform the council that they will take over the business rates.
So is it correct that at the moment that is still Mr.
Yeah, at the
Kabir
moment
Singh?
still Kabir Singh is following the business rates, but Mr. Inder Singh is now signed the contract in that, so he's going to inform the council to make sure that it goes into all-in-one, the name all-in-one, and that will be the business rates going to him, to Mr. Inder Singh. The process, there is a process also of the food and hygiene that we are going to be carrying out. We are appointed to do all those sorts for Mr. Inder Singh because we do that work for him in London.
So currently Mr. Kabir Singh is responsible for the business rates, even though you said there's no business details.
His details are there, but he's not paying the rates.
I think I need a bit of clarification about this because it's an important question. I mean, you've spent quite a bit of time actually indicating that there's a separation now between Mr. Inder Singh and Mr. Kabir Singh, but it turns out from the answer to your question, which is I need the clarification for, that currently Kabir Singh is responsible for the business rates, but you're saying that he doesn't actually pay them.
Yeah, because his name is, because he was a leaseholder before, so his name was there at the council for the business rates, which are now going to change it to Mr. Inder Singh. Although his name is there, but Mr. Inder Singh pays the money to him to pay that rates. But it is going to be changed to Mr. Inder Singh.
But that change hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet, but it's happening. The process is ongoing.
Okay. Sorry I needed the clarification that I'd heard it right. Mr. Widdett, do you want to carry on with your questions?
Thank you, Chair. Yes. So if the licence isn't granted, who will be paying the business rates ongoing?
Well, that will be the decision of Mr. Inder Singh if the license isn't granted, because he will then have to look, although he signed the lease, he'll change the business rates to his name and then decide whether he wants to carry on with the business or sell it off. But he will be the new leaseholder. He will be the responsible person paying the rates and business rates and everything at the premises, because he has already signed the lease from the freeholder.
You say that there is no business connection between yourself and Mr. Kabir Singh. Can I ask, why are you using exactly the same name above the shop as a premises that Mr. Kabir Singh has further up the same street, and why staff are wearing exactly the same hoodies as Mr. Kabir's staff?
Chair, I've just said in my presentation to you before that there will be a change, name will be changed. The process is ongoing at the moment. So it's not going to happen very quickly. It is ongoing, but the owner of the business is Mr. Inder Singh now.
So, for my clarification then, what you're saying is that the current owner of the business still remains Mr. Kabir Singh.
Not really, Mr. Mayor. I'm repeating again. It isn't Mr. Kabir Singh. The staff presently working at the premises are not paid by Mr. Kabir Singh. Can I just tell you, because I visited the premises this morning. This is the first time I came down to the premises, and I did ask the staff first thing, and I did ask Mr. Inder Singh, and they clarified to me that Mr. Inder Singh is paying the staff, not Kabir Singh.
Okay, I mean, Mr. Panchal, you've said that the lease has been transferred to Mr. Inder Singh. If the lease has been transferred to Mr. Inder Singh, how come Mr. Inder Singh is not paying the business rates?
I didn't say, and I repeat again, I didn't say that Mr. Inder Singh is not paying the lease. It's the name at the council yet is in a process to change to Mr. Inder Singh. Although the name of the person at the council remains at Kabir Singh, but we're in a process of changing that and informing the council, sending the copy of the lease to make it into Mr. Inder Singh's name. But the money to pay to the council for the rates is paid by Mr. Inder Singh.
So you're saying that this process hasn't been completed yet?
It hasn't been completed, but it is going to be completed very soon.
So at this moment in time, there does remain some connection between Mr. Inder Singh and Mr. Kabir Singh.
If you look at it, you could say yes, but if you look at it, it could, Mr. Inder Singh is not paying, Mr. Kabir Singh is not paying that rates and rent, although it's in his name. A lot of changes are happening as we go about, and Inder Singh's relation has come into, and that is why we are saying that.
So, okay, let me clarify this a little bit more, because this is Mr. Widdett's question, but I'm just trying to clarify the answers that you've given to Mr. Widdett. If the process hasn't been completed, at what point in time do you think the process will be completed? I mean, are you saying that process will be completed only if a premises license is granted, but it may not be if the premises license wasn't granted. Do you see what I mean?
If you look at on the other side of the coin, we could say, yes, the process is ongoing, even if the license wasn't granted, because the lease is already forwarded to it has been granted by the freeholder, agreed by the freeholder, because in the lease which Mr. Kabir Singh had, there was a condition that he could not sublet it, and he would have to hold that lease with him. Now the freeholder has agreed that the lease could be transferred to Mr. Inder Singh from Mr. Kabir Singh. So that process is ongoing, whilst we also applied for the license at the same time, premises license. But the premises is not going to sell alcohol immediately, even if the license was granted today, because there are changes to happen to the premises plans that we've submitted. There will be changes to the ongoing changes will be shown to the council. If it was put a condition, the changes will be shown to the council. If the changes are happening, they are not going to stop. So those changes are happening.
Okay, Mr. Widder, the questions are still with you, so do you have more questions?
Thank you, Chair. I do have another. In a response on training, you said that you would be changing staff because of the alcohol licence, that they would require further training. I believe you said around Challenge 25. Can I ask, what is wrong with those members of staff at the moment if they are selling age-related products, i.e. vapes, which have to be sold to 18s plus, which would also trigger a Challenge 25 process? If they are not meeting, as you said, they are not trained sufficiently enough to supply alcohol, are they currently trained sufficiently enough to be responsible for the sale of vapes?
They are at the moment, Chair, they are trained at the moment sufficiently on the ongoing products that they have. Ongoing products which I'm saying are vapes, or there was any underage related products at the premises. A more enhanced training will also be put up, and it will be carried out if the alcohol license is granted, because that's something extra that the staff are going to look into. When we say 6% of alcohol, we could say single cans. So all that matters will have to be retrained to the personnel when they are employed. And clearly, sorry, the section guidance 182 clearly states, if you look at the guidance 1.2 to 2.2, which will also be taken into consideration.
I have one further question which relates to waste, and this goes to this whole point about who is actually involved. You say that at the moment you are looking to contract with somebody for waste disposal. The business is open, therefore the business must be producing some form of business waste. Who is responsible and paying for any contract at the moment? You've stated that the business will look to find somebody to contract. So who is currently responsible for the removal of waste from the property?
I think there is a present, is there a contract present? Because there is a bin that is collected, isn't it? Yeah. So whose contract is that? Is that you now transferred to you or not?
It hasn't been transferred yet.
Has that been transferred? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to get transferred.
It's transferred. Sorry, there is a contract presently which is going to be transferred to them.
So can you confirm that earlier on when you said there was no contract and you were looking into one, there actually is one in place?
Is there one contract in place for the waste?
Yeah, but we're looking at other alternatives.
Oh, they're looking at other alternatives, but there is a contract there at the moment.
Who's actually paying it? I did say who's responsible and paying for that at the moment.
Who's responsible for paying that contract at the moment?
That's us.
Yes, they're responsible for paying at the moment.
Thank you, Chair. Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. This is a moment where Andy Blair from Kent County Council Youth Harm Reduction Officer can ask some questions. So, Mr. Blair.
Thank you, Chair. Is the business going to continue to sell vapes and repair phones?
Do you still repair phones?
Yes.
Who's repairing the phones for you?
Repairman.
Repair, you got to repair.
Repairman, new repairman come from the London, or like he is repairing like screen changing.
Okay,
But we mainly reduce repairs and just sell mobile phones and sell vapes.
okay. At the moment, the repair section is not, from what I hear, is not at the highest level, but the mobile phone sales and minor things are at the higher sales.
And the sale of vapes is going to continue, yes?
Yeah.
Who supplies your vapes? Do you supply from your own company? Okay. What sort of recycling and take-back policy does the business have
For the vapes,
for vapes?
There's no recycling process right now, as because we just moved in and we're just gonna manage. But there will be a disposal for e-vapes and electric vapes. There will be a disposable bin.
So, if I get this right, you've been trading since September as the leaseholder, and you've got that in place already then.
No, we haven't implemented it yet, but it's in the process.
So under the WE regulations, you should be having recycling done, and that recycling of vapes and electrical goods should be managed and disposed of by a registered company. Will you be contacting a registered company then to dispose of that particular waste, and that won't go in with the normal waste? That's my question is finished now, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, this is the opportunity for Diane Attenborough, the Canterbury City Council's Enforcement Licensing Officer, to ask some questions, please.
Thank you, Chair. I do have some things that I do need to be clarified. It was mentioned in relation to conditions offered up, and it was stated that Mr. Kabir Singh will be banned during licensed hours, but then the condition says Mr. Kabir Singh will not be allowed to enter the business and will be banned, and also says Kabir Singh has no longer any involvement in the business. I just seem to think it all contradicts. Can you answer that, please?
that makes it very clear that Mr. Kabir Singh will not be involved into any business or any partnership into that business. He will not be even allowed in the property, and he shall be banned from the premises. Now, when we put that condition in which says banned from the premises, under the Licensing Act, the guidance 182 clearly states this condition that whatever we put in are based on the guidance and the licensable activities. So if we were to say to you today that yes, a person is banned from the premises, and if he were to come onto the premises, it means he is allowed, or anybody is allowed who's banned from the premises, because that conditions are for licensable activities. That is what my related to making it clear to the committee that any condition that we lay out is under the licensing activities. And not under any other circumstances. So we can't, when we put it on the legal point of view, if we were to go to court on the legal point of view, and if Mr. Kabir Singh walked onto the premises after 11 o'clock when the licensable activities are finished, he could win in the court by saying, well, I wasn't there, I'm banned from the premises. That condition is based on the licensable activity. That would be the case if we were to go into the court and put it down to the court. So that is why we say to you that when we say Mr. Kabir Singh is banned, we're not going to ask Mr. Kabir Singh to come after 11 o'clock, but we are saying that is how conditions are worked under any licensable activity. So these conditions that you look at are no single cans of beers, lagers and ciders to be sold, would be for the licensable activities. Now, if the beers and lagers was sold after 11 o'clock, it would be illegal because it would be unlicensable activity because they are not licensed to be sold. So I'm just explaining what the guidance says and how the guidance works and how the legal point of work. But he won't be involved and he won't be coming there after 11 o'clock.
Thank you for clarifying that. I just need to also clarify that even though he is not involved as such and won't be on the premises, but what stops Mr. Kabir Singh being involved via phone or emails or anything like that?
Well, let us put it, sorry, Chair, I got to, I'm putting all these common sense matters, which says that if Mr. Kabir Singh is the same community person, and if he were to ring Mr. Inder Singh and say, well, I need £10 from you for a war or anything, and it's up to Mr. Inder Singh to accept the phone or accept if he wants to help Mr. Kabir Singh for £10. That is a different matter. That isn't a licensable matter that can be discussed or can be brought up to this committee. So if you were to ask me that would Mr. Kabir Singh have any connection with business, I would say no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't ring Mr. Inder Singh and say, well, I'm giving you 20 vapes, would you like to sell it? That Mr. Inder Singh would say, look, I do not want that involvement. Maybe Mr. Inder Singh wants to buy that. Like, it doesn't mean that Mr. Kabir Singh is involved in the business of Mr. Inder Singh. So you need to weigh out on a proportionate matter when it's a legal point of view that you're looking at.
I just a little bit confused over the fact that one part of the business is possibly going to be all in one bazaar. Will iRepair cease trading in the premises and will it be all in one bazaar? So none of the mobile phones, whatever else is being sold under iRepair, Mr. Kabir Singh will have nothing to do with the iRepair side of it. Because as it stands at the minute, iRepair is very much actively in that shop.
It will go because at the moment Mr. Kabir Singh is not involved into that iRepair, although you look at it as iRepair there. The name is going to change all in one. All the matters will change because Mr. Inder Singh has his own company which imports mobile accessories and that. So he will be having a full matters in his own hands.
Okay. In regards to waste, commercial waste, Mr. Inder Singh has said that he is currently paying but is looking to transfer it to another. Could you tell me which company they are currently using?
Which company are they using currently? Sorry? Waste. I'll just check and let you know which company they are using.
Law waste services.
Low waste services.
Law waste services.
Sorry?
Law waste services.
Okay. Where are they based? Sorry, I'm trying to think of it.
Where are they based?
Where are they based?
I don't know. I don't know.
Check online.
We're going to check online and let you know.
Okay, thank you. If the licence is granted and Mr. Kabir Singh is currently on the food registration and on the business rates, what prevents Mr. Inder Singh if he decides, well, actually, I don't want to transfer, and what is preventing him transferring the premises licence to Mr. Kabir Singh?
Chair, if that license is transferred to Kabir Singh, that license will come up at the licensing department and the police and the trading standards and all other responsible authorities will have a copy of a transfer which they can easily object to that. Under the guidance section 182, they will object. So you have a chance to object to that transfer, and that transfer would then come up in front of you. And then you would have a chance to look at that. It was discussed at this hearing that this license shall not be transferred. So you could refuse that application, and the license would not be transferred. So there is a what do you call it? There's a good word for it. There is a chance for that license to be refused, and you will have all the rights to do that. Your licensing committee will have all the rights to do that. So it is not something that if Mr. Inder Singh, if the license is granted tonight and he walks out from here and says to Mr. Kabir Singh, here, I've got a license, I'm going to now transfer it to you, he just will not transfer. The application will go to the licensing authority, and the responsible authorities will have a copy of that. And they will have all the chance to object to that license. And that license will then come for a hearing at here, which you will then say, sorry, this cannot be transferred. We granted it to Mr. Inder Singh on the basis that this license cannot go back to Mr. Kabir Singh. And that could fall everywhere. And then Mr. Kabir Singh would not be allowed to be there. And it would be a breach for Mr. Inder Singh to transfer that license looking at the condition that we are proposing. So Mr. Inder Singh would be in problems under section guidance 135, plus it will come up for the hearing. Am I right in saying that? Yep.
Vote for me.
I'm sure I'll get a chance to clarify questions in due course, but that is not a breach. If somebody applies for a transfer, it's an application. It's not a breach of the license.
I have not said the breach of the license, but Mr. Inder Singh.
Well, what is the breach, sir? You said there is a breach.
The breach is for Mr. Inder Singh to, because he has got a condition on that license which says Mr. Kabir Singh shall not be allowed to enter the premises and shall be banned from the premises. So Mr. Kabir Singh, Mr. Inder Singh would be breaching that condition by transferring it to the Mr. Kabir Singh.
Well, your condition is something I was going to clarify, which we can look at now. I have to say it means nothing. All it says is Mr. Kabir Singh cannot enter the premises. Does not mean that he cannot have an involvement. Does not mean he cannot be controlling that business from a distance. All it says is he can't walk in the shop.
That's
and
correct.
what you said is if he walks in the shop, it would lead to a review and revocation of the licence. That's not correct either. It could lead to a revocation, and all you'd have to say as a premises licence holder is Mr. Kabir Singh is not welcome in the shop, but he just walked in. It is not fair to take the licence away. So I think you have to be careful in what you're explaining to the meeting as the consequences, because the consequences you are proposing are not valid.
We are also adding, like I said earlier in my, that Mr. Kabir Singh will not have any business connection with the premises.
If I can continue then, sir, if it's opportune. The document you produced to the committee hearing today, the lease, who has signed that lease? Whose signature is on the lease? There's only one. Well, the one I'm looking at says just Mr. Kabir Singh. That's the one you produced in the email to us last week.
Can you turn your microphone on? Thanks.
He is the leaseholder. He's subletting the lease. So if you look at, he's subletting the lease.
So who is he subletting the lease from? Mr. Kabir Singh?
Mr. Kabir Singh to Mr. Inder Singh.
So Mr. Kabir is involved in the premises because he owns the head lease.
Head lease, yeah.
So he's involved in the premises.
Yeah, he's involved.
It's a
from
yes
the
or
land.
no. He's either involved in the premises as the head lease or he's not. So he has control as the head lease owner, correct?
Well, he should be because he's the initial leaseholder.
But you've answered questions continuously that he has nothing to do with the business, but he will still hold the head lease.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Ms Attenborough, do you have other questions?
That's it. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. In that case, right. The other person would have been the person that has made an objection isn't present, so we can now move on. This is an opportunity now for the responsible authorities to make their case. Sorry, hold on.
Thank you, sir. Just to
Okay,
clarify.
okay. I'm going to ask the licensing officer to finish a number of questions that he wishes to ask as well at this point before we move on to the responsible authorities. So, Mr. Warden.
Just on the business rates, you said you are in the process of applying for that to be transferred. When did that process start? Or have you not actually started it yet?
Last month.
Last week?
Last month.
And who did you apply to? What department?
No, I'm doing for paperwork first. I'm doing paperwork for the...
You're doing the paperwork, so
yeah.
you have not submitted the paperwork
No, I
yet.
didn't submit it, no.
So there is no transfer in place.
No.
Right. So that's all Mr. Kabir Singh as well then at the moment. That's what the documentation will say. If anybody searched, Mr. Kabir Singh is responsible. Doesn't say you have applied, does it? Then questions for Mr. Singh, the DPS. You are planning to relocate to Canterbury?
Yes.
What plans have you got in place for that already?
So I was looking at some apartments. I mean, I was looking at some apartments here and then planning to just, because it's a quiet area, it's a nice area, it's a nice area to live as well.
Okay. So you are the DPS of a premises in London.
Yes.
What will happen to that premises if you move? Will you be DPS still?
No, that'll be changed to another premises, personalized one.
Okay. A question for Mr. Inder Singh. You said you had a business relationship with Mr. Kabir Singh selling mobile phones to him.
Yes,
When was the last sale made to him?
maybe in February, March, April, like this.
February or March of this year?
Yeah.
And was it a regular relationship? before?
No. In a month, in 2 months, like this.
Final question, sublease you are looking to sign, how long is that for? What's the duration?
It's 3 years, I think so.
3 years?
Yeah.
And then it reverts back to Mr. Kabir Singh?
It's renewable.
It's renewable?
Yeah.
Okay. Those are the questions I have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Chair, could
Legal advisor wishes to ask some follow-up questions. So, Mr. Key.
So, starting with the lease, it's between two companies, yes? And the lessor is iCrash Mobiles, and it has been signed by Mr. Kabir Singh in his capacity as a director of iCrash. Is that correct? Have you signed the lease as well?
I have supplements lease, na? I have some supplement lease I have.
Sorry, I couldn't quite catch. You say you have subleased.
I have sublease.
No, my question was, there's a lease which is part of the supplementary report, which has Kabir Singh's signature on for iCrash, and it's to a company called Tech Assis.
It's signed.
But there's no signature for Tech Assis.
No, I signed.
You have signed.
Yeah, I have signed.
And why did you not produce a copy for the committee of the lease with signatures of both parties?
आप बस नहीं मैंने मनप्रीत को भेजी थी शायद वो साइन सॉरी I will repeat, I will send you the copies of the lease.
Okay. Under the lease, you promise to pay a rent, or your company does. Your company is Tech Assis.
Yes.
You promise to pay a rent of £60,000 a year to Mr. Kabir's company.
Yes.
Do you accept that means you have a continuing financial relationship with Mr. Kabir?
Yes.
Under the lease, like all commercial leases, there are conditions which allow the landlord to enter the premises. They give the landlord an absolute right in certain circumstances. So how do you reconcile the landlord's right to re-enter the premises with your condition that Mr. Kabir Singh is forbidden to enter the premises?
I think that is discussed, sorry, Bandguru, that is discussed with Kabir Singh and Mr. Inder Singh, and that is why he will not be allowed during the licensable activities. If Mr. Kabir Singh wants to come to his premises, it will be after licensable activities, or licensable activities will cease during that time.
So just remind us, is the shop going to be open later than licensable activities?
No.
Right. But after the shop's closed, you say Mr. Kabir Singh could come in under the lease?
If he wanted to inspect while he is on the lease. Later on, they've spoken to the freeholder already that the whole lease is going to be transferred directly to Mr. Tech S.
So what are you saying? Something is yet to be transferred, you're saying?
After the recently 3-year lease that is signed, after which the freeholder will have a direct lease with Mr. Inder Singh.
So, but you accept that in the lease that you have presented, the landlord, or the mean landlord technically, is allowed to re-enter without any restriction about licensable activity hours?
We will be informing, or we've informed Mr. Kabir Singh that he will not be allowed with the conditions we've put in during the licensable activities.
Do you agree that's against what the lease says?
I haven't read the lease through, so I would not be able to comment that.
Right, for the record, it's page 31, clause 40, the right of re-entry, and page 33, clause 49.1. They're just some of the re-entry powers. Could I ask, who today owns the stock in the shop?
Yes, I took the stock.
Right. Did you buy it from Mr. Kabir Singh? And who bought it? You yourself or Tech Assis?
I hadn't paid it.
Sorry?
I didn't pay it, no.
You haven't paid?
No.
Sorry, your first answer was you have bought it, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. You now say you haven't paid.
Yes.
So in what sense have you bought it?
He's paid for during my presentation, I said he's paid £45,000. In my presentation earlier, I said he's paid £45,000. That is towards the stock. In July 1st, 3rd, 28th, and 29th.
And who paid? The company or the individual?
It's the company.
The company Tech Assis paid.
One link company is my company. One link company is my company.
Yeah, it's his company.
Could I ask Mr. Inder Singh, the police supplementary representations mention an issue about what they call a grip hotspot. And could you comment on how you will cope with that?
So it will be me that will be.
Actually, I wanted to, I can ask you afterwards, but I wanted to hear from the person applying for the premises license.
Policy that no more than 6 people can enter.
Like भीड़ हो गई है, you know.
Look in the round.
Okay, if the like people more coming in the premises, more people coming in the premises, I can handle like one in the like stock area, one in the tail area, one in the upstairs, for hold all the people.
Sorry, what can you put in these different areas?
Stuff.
Stuff. And anything else that made you think about what you need to do as a result of the police mentioning the grip hotspot?
How the 4 licensing objectives are going to be promoted, and that is exactly what the antisocial behavior and the crime sports come in. So that hotspots will be dealt with in a day-to-day presentation, and the policies which are going to be in place, the Challenge 25 policy and the public nuisance policy, which will be adhered to.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, so from the answers to those questions, can I just ask for a simple clarification? It seems to me from the answers to those questions, Mr. Kabir Singh will be a long-arm beneficiary of any grant of a premises licence, in as much as he still has a financial ownership interest in the premises. I'm pretty sure that that's the case from the answers to those questions. Am I correct in that?
Well, when somebody owns a long lease and the freeholder, when he sells or the person sells the lease to sublets the lease, first of all, he needs a permission from the freeholder. And then the matter is discussed how that lease, sublease, in which we call it assigned, the lease is assigned to the new leaseholder that comes in. And here it is that Kabir Singh holds the lease, and that lease will be assigned to Mr. Inder Singh, which is in the process. And then in a later 3 to 4 years' time, the freeholder will then transfer the entire lease to Mr. Inder Singh.
Okay. We're going to move on now. This is the point at which responsible authorities can make their representation in the case fully. So please, PC Roll from the police first.
Thank you, Chair. Obviously, some of the questions have already been answered, but I will continue with my presentation, which will then also explain some of the points that trading standards will also raise as well. So Kent Police, as a responsible authority, make representations on the grounds of crime and disorder and the protection of children from harm, two core licensing objectives. This is the second application for a licence at this premises. The previous application, submitted in July of 2025, was withdrawn by the applicant prior to a hearing. We suspect that this was done to remove the involvement of Mr. Kabir Singh, whose name was associated with the concerns raised by both Kent Police and Kent County Council Trading Standards regarding the operation of several vape and phone stores within the city. The committee should note the details of that previous application, as they do remain relevant and raise serious concerns around the suitability of this premises to be licensed for alcohol sales. And as you have heard already today in some of the questions and presentations already heard, that there is still a clear involvement financially of Mr. Kabir Singh. In this new application, the applicant has changed from a limited company, All-in-One Bazaar Limited, whose directors were Mr. Inder Singh and Mr. Kabir Singh, to the sole name of Mr. Inder Singh. However, Companies House records showed that Mr. Kabir Singh was the director until the 15th of September 2025, shortly after the previous application was withdrawn. Despite this change, Council records also suggest that Mr. Kabir Singh still remains involved in the lease, as you've heard today, and it's being sublet. We believe that this change was made to distance his involvement and to secure a premises licence at this shop. There was a multi-agency visit in July of 2024 where Kent Police were involved, and we attempted to gain entry into the premises. Staff responded by activating the shop shutters and attempting to lock and evade entry. Despite police instructions, the shutters still closed, but eventually entry was gained and Trading Standards seized a number of items from within the store, along with the hazardous void which was mentioned earlier, which was discovered beneath the floor. Further concerns arise from an underage vape sale as well that Trading Standards have made me aware of, which took place in March of 2025. The applicant describes the store as selling mobile accessories, vapes, snacks, soft drinks with an off licence. Whilst the revised application has reduced operating hours to 11 p.m. and includes a long list of conditions, we still remain unconvinced that the premises will operate compliantly, especially given the suspected behind-the-scenes involvement of individuals previously linked to non-compliance. Canterbury already has a high saturation of off-licences. Just to name a few: Tesco's, Sainsbury's, Marks & Spencer's, Canterbury Lane Store, Pilgrim Shop, Binnywith Express, King Mile Express, Northgate Newsagents, Premium Express, Londis, Canterbury Wine Mart and King Market. This raises questions about the necessity of another alcohol retailer within the area. The premises is also located within a designated GRIP hotspot area as defined through Home Office statistical analytical data. The hotspot classification is based on evidence, persistent issues including antisocial behaviour, knife crime and serious violence. These concerns have highlight a priority and is a priority area for intervention under the Home Office GRIP initiative. This enables police to utilise additional funding to problem solve and address these issues effectively. Across the County of Kent, there are currently 15 identified GRIP hotspot zones, and this premises falls within one of those hotspots. This has been flagged as a significant contributor to the data. Analytical reviews indicate that the locality has generated a substantial proportion of incidents within these hotspot areas, reinforcing its status as a focal point for crime and disorder. This area as a hotspot is not arbitrary. It reflects a clear and evidenced need for enhanced measures to mitigate risk, safeguard the community and reduce criminality. Any licensing decision must therefore take into account the highlighted vulnerability of this location to prevent further harm. We've also already addressed some of my concerns around the designated premises supervisor and his relocation down here, as obviously he's previously currently resides in London, and some of those questions have already been addressed. I just wanted to highlight to the committee as well a visit that took place by myself, police licensing, accompanied by licensing enforcement officer Diane Attenborough, on the 15th of November 2025 at 12:25 in the afternoon, following a concern that was raised to me regarding a possibility that the store was selling alcohol. We completed a visit at the premises. There were two staff on duty who were wearing eye repair hoodies with pink writing on the front. We asked if they sold alcohol and they advised us no. We then asked if we could have a look around the premises and located a chiller cabinet containing a large number of non-alcoholic beers, lagers and wines. This may have been perhaps what the complainant had seen. After we left the store, we walked up the high street and I could hear a man's raised voice. As I looked up, I recognised this male to be Kabir Singh. He was also wearing a blue hoodie with eye repair written across the front. He was shouting very loudly at his mobile phone and was using the words to the effect of, "Don't let them in, don't speak to them." We stopped and observed Mr. Kabir Singh then enter the premises, and this to me still strengthens the case that he has clear involvement in this business. So it is in the conclusion of Kent Police that we strongly object to the granting of this application, as we believe it poses a risk to public safety, undermines the licensing objectives, and may therefore contribute to further disorder and harm within the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The panel may ask you some questions now. So basically, you're indicating that you have grave concerns about the involvement of Kabir Singh in this premises, and can you just, I know it's in the documents, but can you actually say verbally what those concerns are about? What is the history to do with Mr. Kabir Singh that you were concerned about?
So obviously Mr. Kabir Singh is obviously quite well known within the city, and he runs a number of premises within the city centre, sort of mobile phone repair shops and things of that nature. And we have jointly been involved in multi-agency operations, which have led to involvement with Mr. Kabir Singh around non-compliance and matters of that nature. Those details are within the pack as well that you can read.
Thank you for that. I'm going to ask my colleagues if they have any further questions for you.
No, nothing from me, Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Could I ask, within the grip areas, what sort of safeguards might you expect and you'd be seeking premises to put into place?
Sorry, I misheard the first part of the question.
So within the grip areas, you talked about that required an enhanced level of supervision. What sort of conditions or what sort of things would you expect premises holders to put into place in those sorts of areas?
Obviously, they've listed an array of conditions in their application, some of which would be expected, so your single can sales, your low ABV and things of that nature as well. But for me, it's more about the density of more alcohol being available rather than what they can put in place, because there would be an expectation that they should be abiding by the licensing objectives anyway, most of which they have stated they're going to do, but it's more about the locality and what that then brings to the locality. More availability of alcohol, more availability for people to come in and buy age-restricted products and that sort of thing as well. So it's more about the locality and saturating that area, which then has a knock-on effect of further antisocial behaviour, violence, disorder, etc., because it is a high harm area.
Yeah, a further question from me. In terms of it being a grip area, what kind of nature of crime are you saying happens in that area that makes it a grip area? What kind of crimes are happening there, and at what times of the day is that happening?
Yeah, so the analytical data that we have and why it becomes a hotspot location is because there is a large portion of antisocial behaviour, whether that's alcohol-fuelled, drug-fuelled, theft, violent crime, knife crime. So it's a multitude of different types of events that can go on from any time of the day, from early morning to late afternoon, early evening, and into the small hours as well. So it's because of the nature of the types of incidents that occur in that locality, that's why it's classed as a grip zone, because it is high harm. So I can't reel off for you exactly every single time and date of every single incident, but the statistical analysis will show that it is, for that reason, highlighted by the Home Office as one of those areas we have to concentrate on. And we just don't want to add to that already burdened area.
So to be clear, what you're saying is that a lot of those incidents are clearly alcohol fuelled and there is a risk.
There is, because it also includes obviously nighttime economy as well. So you've got pubs and those sorts of things within that density as well. So it's a multitude of those. But yes, it is alcohol related as well as non-alcohol related incidents as well.
Okay, thank you very much. This is the opportunity now for the applicant to ask the police any questions.
Thank you very much, Chair. My first question to you is, on 15th of November, you visited, you saw the two staff there. Was there alcohol sold? Was the alcohol sold during that?
No, I did clarify, no, it was non-alcoholic items that were on display.
The second thing is, you have said that there are a lot of alcohol problems in the area, which we understand in many places. Have you got any data with you today to present to the committee to say that you have an evidence-based showing that there's alcohol-related problems in the area?
We have a street drinking issue within the city, which is quite prevalent and quite well known.
Have you got any evidence today?
No data, but our hotspot areas is a Home Office analytical product.
You don't have any evidence?
Oh, I don't, no.
Okay. It's just your own assumption?
No, it's not my opinion or assumption. Our hotspot grip zone is a Home Office analytical data that is supplied to the police to allow the police to then patrol in particular areas, reduce crime, reduce antisocial behaviour. So it's all based on our data and our information, but I don't have anything to produce to you for you to look at that. But it's not my assumption, it's our product that we use in order to patrol.
In normal circumstances, Chair, we do need to have data which shows us how the criminal activity is run when the police puts up its reports. If it is, as you said, it is a dangerous area, it's a hotspot area, have you ever thought of applying for a cumulative impact zone in that area?
It's not, I haven't said it's a dangerous area. I've just said it's an area that has increased antisocial behaviour and crime-related matters. So I haven't said it's a dangerous area. I've just said that it is an area where the police have to patrol more regularly, more frequently, and we're supported by the Home Office in order to complete that. And no, there is no cumulative impact. I'm aware of that. However, it is important that I still advise that we do have a large proportion of off licences, and I think that is a fair comment.
So you're assuming that there is no data for you to produce, but you're assuming and telling this committee here that it is dangerous in that area, and that area is not, it's a hotspot where a lot of crime
again, just sorry to overtalk you.
You don't have statistics for the crime, but it's your assumption again to say to this committee that it is a hotspot area and there is a lot of crime there.
I haven't said it's dangerous. You've said that twice. It's to clarify, I haven't said it's a dangerous area. I've explained what our hotspot patrolling is because it's important that the committee understand what the police do and how we patrol and why we patrol in particular areas. And your shop, your client's shop, is within that hotspot area.
So what you heard from my designated premises supervisor of the area, do you have a confidence that he would be able to promote the 4 licensing objectives the way he's presented today?
I haven't said he will or wouldn't be able to perform his role. My concern is more around the locality and how he's going to manage that. Putting in lots and lots of conditions is good, but it's still not necessarily going to negate how his premises will not contribute to any of those further problems. But also the concern is around who is involved in that business, as we quite rightly have already discussed, and some of those complexities around who is or who isn't responsible.
So at the moment, we've said to you that Mr. Kabir Singh is not involved. Mr. Avneet Singh is the new DPS. He's explained to you what the 4 licensing objectives are. With that, do you have any confidence in him that he will promote the 4 licensing objectives robustly?
Well, I can't necessarily say would have confidence because I've not yet seen him perform. It's all well and good to put on paper what you're going to do and how you're going to achieve it and what experiences you have, but until that's actually put into practice is a different matter.
So you would be happy if you would like to see him perform?
I haven't said neither or, that I'm happy or dissatisfied. What I'm saying is there is nothing for me to base it on at the moment.
Okay.
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
Can I just clarify for a moment, in terms of it being a grip zone, can you tell me the boundaries of that grip zone, roughly, or precisely?
Yeah, it's the sort of city centre, Westgate ward, so it's quite a large proportion of the area as well.
So it's basically everything within the city walls,
Yes.
is what you're saying, basically.
Yes.
Right. And this committee has in the past been aware of concerns about alcohol in that area. So we are aware that there are reasons to be concerned about it. Okay.
Sorry, Chair, I just wanted to clarify, was to produce reams and reams of data. It still doesn't necessarily mean anything. It just shows you, again, that there are issues, and that's why we're addressing it as a hotspot area, is because we're telling you that there are issues there and we're trying to combat those issues by patrolling and regularly being visible in the locality. And we just don't want to be burdened by extras on top of that as well.
Yes,
So it's,
I accept that.
Yeah.
I think there is clearly an issue to do with the role of intelligence to say this is an area of concern, so that the police do have to take some proactivity in that area. And of course, the proactivity of the police may reduce the incidence of the reasons for concern. So, I mean, I accept that, and I accept that this is a Home Office definition that's based on proper analysis and proper parameters and proper worked out intelligence. Okay, this is the point. I think there's no further questions for the police at this point. This is a point where Mr. Widditch, you can make your representations.
Thank you, Chair. The Trading Standards Department of Kent County Council, as a responsible authority under the Licensing Act 2003, make representations on the ground of all 4 Licence Act objectives in the connection with the application of the grant of a premise licence at 37 High Street, Canterbury, CT1 2RY, put forward by Inder Singh. 37, All in One Bazaar Limited, is registered with Companies House, company number 1633868, having been incorporated on the 24th of March 2025. The company had 2 directors, Inder Singh, with a correspondence of address of 43 Stratford Road, Southall, Uniform Bravo 25 Papa Golf, and Kabir Singh, whose correspondence address is that of the shop, to be licensed, and has subsequently removed himself as a director as of the 15th of September 2025. Whilst noting the operational schedule to the application proposed under the Prevention and Crime and Disorder objective that Mr. Kabir Singh will not have any involvement in the day-to-day running of the shop or the business, this authority is of the opinion that this offers insignificant guarantee. Kent Trading Standards submitted objections to the previous application made while Kabir Singh was part of the limited company that had applied for the licence at 37 High Street, Canterbury. The rationale for those concerns and objections to the application are available separately in Appendix A. For the licensing subcommittee, should they form the opinion the involvement of Kabir Singh is in the ongoing business, the involvement of Kabir Singh in the ongoing business is likely. The objections of Kent Trading Standards to this application under all 4 objections are rooted in the belief that despite weak assurances made, Kabir Singh will have ongoing role in the business, and the issues that can be presented in relationship to his involvement demonstrate serious concerns related to each of the licence objectives that cannot be overlooked. whilst it is not unusual for a new applicant to apply for a licence while in the process of taking over a business, in this case, Inder Singh has intrinsically linked himself to Kabir Singh by virtue of being a co-director to a limited company, and it is only now that the full and relevant history of Kabir Singh is provided an obstacle to the application that attempts are being made to distance him on paper. It is understood that the lease, as already discussed, and business rates for 37 High Street Canterbury, including floors above the retail space, are still held by Kabir Singh. The sublet of the retail space to Inder Singh does not preclude Kabir Singh from retaking control of the business operation at any point after the licence is guaranteed. Informing the opinion that with current proposals Kabir Singh's control is probable, it has been noted from Companies House records for company number 16075755, Kabir Singh is appointed director on the 4th of January 2025, resigned on the 27th of March 2025, only to be reappointed on the 9th of April 2025. This pattern of behaviour mirrors that in relation to businesses' rates records previously seen by this authority regarding another retail property and in relation to Kabir Singh whilst carrying out investigations. Finally, while considering the suitability of Inder Singh to uphold the licence objectives, intelligence reports received by this authority have linked Inder Singh to another person unrelated to this application, but believed to be of the same family due to records indicating that they reside at the same residential address. That person and a limited company under their control have been investigated by trading standards in London, in the London region, as recently as November 2024, where non-compliant tobacco products were found on the premises during an inspection. For these reasons and others discussed here in the meeting, trading standards would still object to this licence. Thank you. Oh, sorry. The annex, I wasn't planning on reading the annex out, Chair, unless you wish to. I'm prepared to take questions on it, but the annex is there in the bundle. Thank you.
Yeah, remind me what's in the annex?
The annex was originally presented, or sorry, was provided for the first hearing when Kabir Singh was a director of the company. And this details a number of instances over a period of years where trading standards have had contact with Mr. Kabir Singh at a number of his retail premises, dealing with, so going back far enough, it was things like psychoactive substances, illegal vapes, counterfeit products, and also several underage test purchases that were failed by the business.
Okay, so this is where the panel can ask you questions, Mr. Widdett. So what you're saying is that there is evidence of a history of the sale of basically illegal products. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct, sir. So during investigations and visits that have been previously undertaken by the service, we have found counterfeit mobile phone accessories, electrical items, which is one part of the business. And we've also seen significant quantities of illegal vapes that have been removed from Mr. Kabir Singh's premises previously, one of those being iRepair, and also underage sales, one of which Mr. Kabir was involved in directly.
Underage, sorry, I missed the...
Sorry, an underage sale of vapes.
Oh, okay. And you've also mentioned that there seems to be involvement in something recently in the London area. Is that correct? By Mr. Kabir Singh, I mean.
Not Mr. Kabir Singh, sir. Okay. No, Mr. Inder Singh and
Okay.
a possible family member residing at the same address. So that was in 2024, and that was around illegal tobacco. But that was by another local authority.
Okay, okay. So that doesn't relate to Canterbury as such, but yeah, okay. Okay, thank you for that. One question there. I mean, and this probably relates to something PC Rolf also said. You seem to be indicating that there's been an effort to stop either trading standards or police entering premises that are owned or controlled by Mr. Kabir Singh. Am I right about that? It's been made difficult for that to occur. Is that correct?
There have been certain times when, because there are several properties owned by Mr. Kabir Singh, if we are to approach one, other premises will close during normal trading hours.
Okay. In your view, does that relate to the experience that PC Rolf just mentioned just recently of Mr. Kabir Singh apparently trying to make sure that people weren't allowing access to the premises? Is that correct?
I would assume that to be the case, sir. If somebody has gone into one property and there are links to others and then they are closed, it would indicate that they don't want us to be entering to conduct our visits and inspections.
Okay, thank you for that. Let me ask my colleagues if they've got any questions. Okay, no further questions at this point. So this is the opportunity of the applicant to ask you questions. Mr.
Just a clarification that you mentioned that Kabir Singh has a similar address, registered address, resident registered address as Inder Singh. Am I right in saying that? On page 47, I don't know whether it's...
No, he hasn't got. It was that the address is of the shop.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for clarifying that. But the moment, you don't have anything that Mr. Inder Singh has refused your visit, or you've not asked for a visit, or haven't had a visit where Mr. Inder Singh has taken over the shop?
No, that's correct, but it would appear
During the
it's...
application period, you haven't asked Mr. Inder Singh for any matters to discuss or anything of the application?
No, we haven't.
No, haven't. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. This is the opportunity for Mr. Blair to put his representation. So, Mr. Blair.
Thank you, Chair. I don't actually have a representation myself. Mine was jointly with Mr. Widdett's representation from Trading Standards.
Okay, thank you. I've got a question for you, though. So you won't get off that lightly. So my question is, you're the Youth Harm Reduction Officer for Kent County Council, basically. And from your questions earlier, you are concerned about the possibility of youth harm. Can you describe what your concerns are in brief to the panel?
So as part of my role, I do reactive and proactive work. Part of my reactive work is dealing with complaints of underage sales. So I will go in and do compliance visits, but I also do them as a routine part of my role, where I go into premises that sell age-related products and check their policies. So refusal books, Challenge 25 policies, staff training to make sure everything's up to date. And if I find a premises that is failing or lacking in anything, I can support them initially with any advice or training materials or refusal book. I can provide that. My concern is predominantly the sale of alcohol to underage people, which has happened in Canterbury, as you know, been in front of you before. So that's a major issue, but also vapes as well, because of the nicotine content in those, and illegal substances that have been found in Kabir Singh's shop. So that has happened. So that is a major concern. But yeah, that is part of my role.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Panchal, do you have any questions of Mr. Blair?
Thank you so much, Chair.
Okay, this is an opportunity for Ms. Attenborough to make her representations.
Thank you, Chair. Canterbury City Council, as a responsible authority, have made representations which are in the pack against the 4 licensing objectives. My report is in full, but would just like to add, obviously, PC Rolf has mentioned that this is the second application. The first application was made with All in One Bazaar Limited, which Mr. Inder Singh and Mr. Kabir Singh were both directors. Mr. Kabir Singh, after the application had been withdrawn just before the hearing, Mr. Kabir Singh resigned from All in One Bazaar. Although this application is not in the name of All in One Bazaar Limited, it is in the individual of Mr. Inder Singh. We are therefore concerned, and we feel that this is a way for Mr. Kabir Singh to distance himself and circumvent the necessary licensing protocols safeguarding the measures that are expected of the holder. We remain unconvinced that Mr. Singh is not involved in the premises. On the balance of probabilities, Chair, are you satisfied that Mr. Kabir Singh does not have a connection with this premises, as myself and PC Rolf, which PC Rolf mentioned, witnessed him after we had visited, walking with determination down the street, but what seemed to be berating his staff on the phone, and then we watched him walk into the premises. This is concerning because Mr. Inder Singh has said that he took over the business and paid for the business in July, and this happened in November. We are still have great concerns that Mr. Kabir Singh has quite a lot of input into this business. That is all from Canterbury City Council.
Okay, thank you very much. I think you've made the points clearly enough, and it kind of reinforces material that we've already covered. So I'm not going to ask any questions of you, but I'll check my colleagues. No? Okay, this is a possibility for Mr. Panchal to ask questions of you.
Thank you, Chair. I don't have any.
Okay, thank you very much. In that case, we move on to the next section, which is not possible because it's to do with the other person who isn't present. So we're moving on from the other person to ask Mr. Panchal, as the agent for the applicant, to summarise your application. This is your opportunity to do that. And after that, we will retire to consider our decision. Okay?
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I'm here today to discuss the application which is made by Inder Singh and the DPS sitting next to me. I'd like to clarify to you that this is not the application of Kabir Singh. This is the application of Inder Singh. We've heard a lot about what Kabir Singh's views or Kabir Singh's matters are from all the responsible authorities. We are making it absolutely clear to you that there will be no involvement of Kabir Singh in this application. We are looking at 9.42 of the guidance, which says licensing authorities are best placed to determine what actions are appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives in the area. All licensing determination should be considered on a case-by-case basis. There isn't any case basis that you are going to discuss today when you make your decision about Mr. Inder Singh. You haven't heard a lot about Mr. Inder Singh's. You've heard a lot about Kabir Singh. You should take into account any representations or objections that have been received from responsible authorities or other persons and representations made by the applicant or premises user, as the case may be. The authority's determination should be evidence-based justified as being appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives and proportionate to what it is extended to achieve. We're trying to tell you what it's going to achieve. The determination of whether an action or step is appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives requires an assessment of what action or step should be suitable to achieve that end. We are saying what would achieve that end is the conditions that we have laid out to you today, which we feel is appropriate and proportionate to achieve the promotion of the 4 licensing objectives. That is what the guidance says in section 182. And we feel that imposing those conditions will promote the 4 licensing objectives. You haven't heard anything today to say that Mr. Avneet Singh, the DPS, is not capable or is not competent enough to promote the 4 licensing objectives. You heard that we've showed to you today how well the 4 licensing objectives are going to be promoted. And that is what the guidance clearly states. So, Chair, we feel that looking at to the applicant, Mr. Inder Singh, and looking at the DPS who's going to promote the 4 licensing objectives, the premises are going to be promoted robustly. The premises are going to be run properly. That is what we are here today to discuss about. So when you're making your decision, we are asking you to look at the case-by-case basis and determine your decision on what the 4 licensing objectives are going to be determined and applied for. And that is what we are asking you today to do. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Panchal. Right, this is the point at which the committee will retire to consider the decision, and so we'll retire and we'll be back at 1 o'clock with our decision. Okay, so, okay. Okay, thank you very much. We're reconvening, and we've listened very carefully and in detail to all representations, and would like to thank people for putting the application and the representations in respect of that application, and we've listened to it all in detail and considered it all. I'm going to basically announce our decision, and then I'm going to ask Mr. Key, our legal advisor, to actually explain it in detail. But basically what we're saying is that as a panel, we are not satisfied that the licensing objectives are going to be upheld or advanced by this application, and therefore we are deciding to actually refuse the application on this occasion. And I'm going to ask Mr. Key to explain this in detail and our reasoning for that, so that you're very clear about the basis on which that has happened. Okay, thank you, Mr. Key.
So the subcommittee has taken account today of the Licensing Act 2003, which includes the 4 licensing objectives, section 4, of particular concern to the committee were the prevention of crime and disorder and the protection of children from harm. They've also considered the statutory guidance made under section 182, its own statement of licensing policy, section 17 of the Crime and Disorder Act, the Equalities Act, and then the site visit this morning and the agenda pack with the licensing officer's report, the application and the representations made by the police, KCC Trading Standards, Canterbury City Council Enforcement, and by another person who wasn't present today. So that's the written material that's been taken account of, plus the oral submissions and representations made by all the representatives of the parties here today, the applicant, police, trading standards, and Canterbury City Council. Of particular concern was the question of whether Mr. Kabir Singh would have any involvement or influence on the running of the business. This is an issue which the applicant himself has recognised is an important issue, and that's because the applicant himself offered in paragraph condition 16 on page 19 of the operating schedule a condition that Mr. Kabir will not have involvement in the day-to-day running of the shop or the business. So that's the application from 16th of September, that condition was offered. And then on the 7th of November came an email from the licensing consultant acting for the applicant, condition 6 of which, and this is email sent to police, trading standards and Canterbury City Council licensing enforcement. Condition 6, Mr. Kabir Singh shall not be allowed to enter the property. They shall be banned from the premises. So this is an issue which the applicant has admitted is important. At the beginning of today's hearing, the impression given was that Kabir Singh has nothing to do with the business. And then, as things developed, it became more a case of Kabir Singh will have nothing to do with the business, because it came out that Kabir Singh is still the registered name for the food business, and he's still the name for payment of business rates. And the applicant himself initially indicated that he was taking over business rates, and during questioning it appears that he's completed paperwork for this to happen, but that paperwork hasn't yet been submitted. So Kabir Singh, certainly by name, is in an important way still named as the person running that business. Then there was evidence from the police of a visit on the 5th of November very recently, and 2 months almost after a condition had been signed in the operating schedule to which I've referred, to the premises to check whether wine was being sold. It wasn't, it was non-alcoholic wine. But then Kabir Singh was seen to be walking down the street, speaking on his phone, and enter the building. And this has not been contradicted or challenged or in any way by the applicant. And then of great importance is the lease, which is between Kabir Singh's company, and it's been signed by Kabir Singh, and the applicant's company. We haven't seen a signature on the lease on behalf of the applicant's company. But under the terms of this lease, Kabir Singh has a right to enter the premises, and it's not qualified by reference to licensing hours at all, and his right to enter is in his capacity as landlord. But importantly, also, the tenant, or lessee, has to pay Kabir Singh's company an annual rent of £60,000. That's 60 followed by 3 O's, £1,000. And this, when questioned, the applicant admitted meant he was going to be, or is, in a continuing financial relationship with Kabir Singh through having to pay this sum. And the licensing subcommittee see Kabir Singh as an ultimate beneficiary through this route of any benefit that arose from premises license grant. So the licensing subcommittee are not confident that Kabir Singh is not going to currently influencing the building, nor that he's not going to be influencing the business in the future. And this is of great concern because of the evidence about Kabir Singh, which is contained within the police representations, KCC representations, and CCC enforcement representations. For example, an underage vape sale. This engages the licensing objective of protection of children from harm, and if alcohol were inappropriately sold, this give rise to concerns over the licensing objective concerned with crime and disorder. So the licensing subcommittee considered that they're not confident, that it hasn't been shown that Kabir Singh isn't connected and won't continue to be connected, and for that reason, because of the way that that engages the licensing objectives, the application is refused. It's necessary to advise orally at this hearing that there is a right to appeal against this decision under Section 181 of the Licensing Act, filled out by Schedule 5 to that Act. There's a very strict 21-day time limit, and the appeal is made not to us, but to the Magistrates' Court. I will produce within the next 2 or 3 working days a decision letter which will fill out and give the full reasons. It would be sensible to regard the 21-day period as starting today, notice of decision being given, and if it's acceptable, I would email that decision letter to the applicant's agent. And that concludes account of the decision.
Okay. In terms of the rest of the meeting, there is no other urgent business, and there's no need to exclude press or public. So I therefore indicate that the meeting is now finished and complete. So thank you, everybody, for attending and contributing. Thank you.